Hey everyone, it's Paul from Alexander Knife Sharpening, and it is Wednesday, September 13th. I thought maybe today would be a good day to just do a walkthrough of my shop, pointing different things out to you guys that I'm currently using, just to give you an idea of, what the current status is in here. A lot of people watch my videos, and, some of the videos are a couple years old, and some of the things I was doing back then I'm not doing now. So I just kind of wanted to give you an overall update of the shop, what's going on, a typical day here. So it's a Wednesday, and it's currently 11 o'clock in the morning, and I am over. This is my that's my Apple Watch talking to me. So I'm over, and this is my front door area, and this is my desk area. And basically, I think I've showed this before, but if you haven't seen it before, I use these little plastic Plano boxes that I got from Costco for jobs. So I put new jobs in them and I put old jobs in them. I never commingle people's work, and I usually tend to work on one job at a time, and then even if I have to go back to it, I'll close up the box and put it away. That way I've never in a couple years ever mixed up anybody's stuff, so it helps keep me organized. So all these right here are outgoing. These are some empty boxes for ingoing stuff. I actually just got a mail order. Someone mailed me a knife that they want me to work on, so I have that here. Up on the counter here, I have a throwing knife that I'm working on for somebody who wants it laser engraved. So I was doing some testing on some knives. He wants me to put a cool pattern on there. So I was testing different types of engravings. This is one of my junk knives. I pick those up a lot of times at yard sales just to test different things. Down here, that's a little box that I use when I am treating wood handles, even though it's covered with all of my knives and things I use in the shop. It actually has a purpose. I have some zip ties on here, and these are those electrical zip ties that have a screw spot, and they go all the way across. And what I can do when I'm working on let me grab a kitchen knife here to show you. So when I have a handle, now this one's plastic so it wouldn't be drying, but if it was a wood handle knife, what I do is I'll just slide this under here, and then the oil, depending on what I'm using, whether it be linseed oil or tung oil or whatever, can sit here and dry and it not touch anything. And that's just this little bench, and I've been using that forever, and you can see it's it's nothing special. It's literally just a little wood bench with two long electrical zip ties. I did them at different lengths, so this one's a little closer. That's for smaller knives, and this one's for bigger chef's knives. Over here is my powder coating station, which is kind of a mess, but I kind of will pull this out when I need it and then kind of put it away here in the front of the shop. So I have a brand new powder coating oven that I just got, which I am really happy with. Got that on Amazon. Amazon has what they call Amazon Renewed, and it's basically for damaged stuff that's been repaired, and you can get things really cheap. This oven was really inexpensive. I think I got it for about $140, but normally it's pretty close to $300 because it has some dents in the top. But I'm using it for powder coating, so I could care less about the dents in it because it's going to be destroyed from putting powder coating stuff in here. This is my powder coating box, so things get hung in here, and then I spray the powder coat. And believe it or not, there's a big box fan in the back here, and these are filters which pull the powder coating forward so that it doesn't go all over the shop. Over here I have my 2x42, which is mostly I use for bigger tools, axes and lawnmower blades and things like that. I have a Ryobi buffer right next to it. Not a great location for it. I actually want to get a different setup for that. You will see a big giant 4-inch vent here, which I do bring up close to the 2x42 when I'm grinding with it, because it does create a lot of junk, and that goes right down here into my jet 1.5 horsepower ventilation system with a 5 micron catch bag on there. So let's continue down over here. This is my 1x30 section for sharpening. So I have 3 1x30s, 2 Harbor Freights that I converted myself to variable speed. In the middle is the Toolker variable speed, which is the newest one of the 3. I replaced a Wen that was non-variable speed with this Toolker, which I am very, very happy with. I did do a little addition of some electrical tape to the wheel here in the middle, which is the tracking wheel, and that has helped considerably with keeping belts on there evenly. I am trying to figure out, because I've seen one person that did it in a video that replaced this wheel with one of Cliff Curry's wheels, but I don't know where he got the internal parts, because these wheels are not the same size and you can't put one of Cliff's wheels directly on there, but somehow he figured out a way to do it. I'm still working on that. This is my Shop Fox vent downdraft table, which is very helpful when I am using the 1x30s, but I still even wear a mask with those, but because everything here is like created a lot of dust. Now this section here in the front of my shop is like my messy section. And this is where I do polishing and cleaning and stropping. And I tried to kind of keep the messy stuff to one side so it doesn't go all over the place. So I have an additional 4-inch hood that comes up here to my variable speed strop. And this will create, dust when I'm stropping. And I can turn on my downdraft table and this at the same time, or I have little blockers back here. I can shut that off there and draw a whole lot of suction through here, or I can shut this off and draw a whole lot through the table. Typically, I usually am running both open because when I use these, I'm going back and forth a lot to the strop and also to the 1x30s. So then over here I have my 2 jewelry buffers, which I've shown many times. The Dededco 3M buffs that I use a lot for cleaning, polishing, restoring the grain lines in knives. And these things are just fantastic. I use them all day long. And they're all part of my messy table. And then over here, this big giant monster is a bunch of different things. I have two Fordham tools on here, also with dental abrasive buffs on there. And I have a couple Dremels. Same thing, very similar. The Fordhams are a little bit more robust as far as the motors. They have a lot of torque, and they can be used for wood carving and stuff like that, which I have done when I make handles, and I will use those for carving wood handles and things like that. And I even have a chisel. One of these is actually a air chisel, not an air chisel, I'm sorry, it's a Fordham chisel, and it can actually use these little chisels that I have back here. And I also have these really cool cutting tools from Kutzall that are fantastic if you really need to remove a lot of material. And then let's continue over here. So this is today's work. I have 4 boxes down here. And just to give you an idea of what kind of comes in, this is a bunch of steak knives. This is 2 chef's knives for someone. This is a big bunch of variable stuff. And here I have some military style knives, a bayonet for an AR, or not an AR, I'm sorry, an AK-47 bayonet. That's pretty cool. Tanto blade from Japan. This gentleman was in the Navy. And just some other stuff in there. Down here I have Some more of those Boy Scout axes I've been working on. This has been more of a long-term project, but it's coming to an end. They are just about done. And then I also have these little bucket seats, because what I do is I'll put the job I'm working on that bucket, so I'm not bending all the way down to the floor to get it. There's my Uline catalog for cutting. This is my old powder coating oven. It is on its way out. It was smaller, and I just need to get it out of the shop because I'm sure I can use that space for better purposes. This is my buffing station with my airway buffs from Combat Abrasives. This is awesome. If you saw the Boy Scout axe that I just recently did that I mirror polished the head on, I did it with these, and they are awesome. And this is a jet low speed grinder. I'm seriously considering picking up a jet variable speed polisher. They're not cheap, but that might be one of the next things I get for the shop. And then over here is just it looks like it's a bunch of craziness, but it's actually some more. This is another longer term refurbishing job there on someone's dad's knife. And what do we have down here? This is another throwing knife that I'm making handles for in there. And then some of this stuff is just all other stuff for the shop. That's parts that I use for doing stack leather handles, some more buffing stuff. Down here you'll see more belts, knife sleeves. These are nice long big ones that I can cut to any size that I need. And let's see what else. Okay, so now we come over here, another cleaning station. I have two ultrasonics that I use in the shop. So this is a slightly bigger one. This is a smaller one. This one has evapo-rust in it. This one has degreaser in it. But I'm probably going to switch the two because I find I'm using the evapo-rust one a lot. And it's just amazing. This is my grandfather's old plane, and it was completely rusty. And you can see, look at the evapor-rust. I mean, it just cleaned it up. I don't actually use this plane for work, but I actually use it as a weight for stuff. But I just love having it in the shop. It's so cool. It was my grandfather's, who passed it to my dad, and my dad passed it on to me. You can see, so here is my grinder. I was actually doing a whole lot of tools for a local farmer, and who brought me all these pickaxes and some axes that he wanted all sharpened up for the winter time. So I'm doing all of those. And this is the shop dog. That's Fredo. That's my buddy. He loves to spend the whole day with me, even though he sleeps most of the time. He's getting old. My buddy there he's 13 years old, so spends a lot of time sleeping, but he'd rather be in here in the shop with me than in the house. Here's some more of those axes that I'm working on. And that's about it. So, and then I have these two big rolling tool boxes. Oh, how could I forget? Can't forget these. This is my Tormek station. So these are my, the crown jewel of sharpening for me. These are my Tormek station here. I have the 50th anniversary Tormek Black under here. So there's the black. And I keep these right in the middle. I have them on a slider, so I can actually slide this around and move it where I need it, or if I want it out of the way. And then these are just filled with all kinds of stuff for sharpening. Most of the stuff in here is for Tormek stuff. So I have all my different jigs for doing chisels and things like that. This is all Dremel and Fordham's tool stuff for my tools for the Fordham. This is more abrasives. This is my belt splitter. I've shown that before in other videos. And that's pretty much what this station is. And I actually have a third Tormek that's inside my house. Downstairs has the Japanese water stone on it. I just didn't have room for all three. And And sometimes if the shop gets too hot, I will actually go inside and sharpen inside. And that's where I use that. Most of my third Tormek machine is actually in the house in my basement. And I think that about covers everything in the shop currently. Oh, you know what? Let's show the lighting. So I do have a bunch of lighting in here, and some of it's for YouTube videos. So like this big Rotolight up here is for doing videos for you guys. And then the rest of it's just work lighting. That is a vent system for cleaning the air, an air cleaner up there. That's probably going to be needed to be changed soon. You can see it's starting to get a little dark up there. And I think that about probably covers it. So that is the shop tour. That took about, 15 minutes. Over here, this is my checkout. I take payment from credit card, Venmo, cash, and and Square. And this is my setup mostly for Square to take credit cards. And then this is the excuse me guys, sorry. And this is just my area for the laser currently. I don't know if this is going to stay here. I may move it to a different location. I haven't 100% decided. If I could get this area over here cleaned out, I do have a lot of things in there I could probably get rid of. Then I might be able to have the laser over there on some type of a table. It is Bluetooth, so I can run it that way, and it can run via wires. But I'm not sure if it's going to stay here or if it might go inside the house. That is still up for debate. But that's it. That's the update, and there's the shop tour for you.